I recently finished Valhalla, and I have to say, it is one of the greatest visual novels I've ever played. To me, it's up there with games like Zero Escape and 428 Shivia Scramble. One thing I noticed while playing is that many of the character arcs revolve around the theme of freedom. Freedom as in, being who you really are and living life with no regrets. This theme also plays into the game's main story, as it is a theme that has heavily affected the main character, Jill Stingray. In this video, I will examine various characters' interpretations of freedom and how it affects their lives. By the way, this video is going to be a bit on the short side since I have been rather busy this week. Let's start off with our main character, Jill Stingray. Jill is a bartender at Valhalla, despite having a college education. Jill even had a very profitable job offer to work in a lab, but she turned it down in order to pursue freedom. To understand this decision, we must take a look at her past. Jill was involved in a relationship with a woman named Lenore, a student teacher at the university she attended. Lenore helped Jill get through college and then pressured her to accept the lab job offer. Jill felt that Lenore was using Jill as a surrogate to live the life she never had. Jill says that she could feel her youth slipping through her fingers. She also says that the only reason she stayed in college was because of Lenore. Without her, Jill would have dropped out long ago. Jill feels she does not have freedom since to her, she is living someone else's life and being dictated by someone else's choices. Jill and Lenore ended up having a fight and breaking up. Jill finally achieved freedom. Jill was finally able to be herself, even if being herself meant living in a shoddy apartment and working a low-paying job. To Jill, what matters is that she is living her own life on her own terms, and making decisions for herself. Another character who gets their freedom by leaving something behind is a young intern named Kim Va-11. Kim is an intern at the Augmented Eye, a digital newspaper. The Augmented Eye is very competitive, and Kim always finds herself being screwed over by her coworkers. Kim is also very overworked. She is so overworked that she becomes physically sick. The only reason she stays at this job is due to pressure from her family. Quite a similar situation to the one Jill faced. This pressure makes Kim feel completely helpless to do anything to improve her life. It is even implied that she contemplated suicide at one point. Eventually, after one particularly stressful incident, Kim finally quits. She no longer cares about her family's pressure to keep the job. Kim decides she wants to become a bartender, inspired by Jill. I believe Jill and Kim are supposed to be parallels of each other. Both were kept in a situation they didn't want to be in by loved ones, living someone else's dream while their youth passes them by. Both of them also achieve freedom by going against their loved ones' wishes. Both of them become bartenders, and both of them see freedom as doing what you enjoy with no regrets. If there is one character in this game who already has her freedom, it's Dorothy Hayes. Dorothy is a sex worker who frequents Valhalla and is a close friend of Jill's. You might think that because of her occupation, Dorothy has been forced into her job or is doing it for the money, but that is not true. Dorothy is a sex worker because she wants to be. She genuinely enjoys what she does and is actually quite proud of it. Since she is her own boss, she is able to decide where she draws her limits. I think Dorothy is the most free out of everyone in the cast. She is doing what she loves, being herself and living life with no regrets, and all with a positive attitude to top it off. Don't let her job fool you. Dorothy has achieved true freedom. Another character who I believe the theme of freedom relates to is Mario. Mario is a biker delivery boy who goes to Valhalla every now and then. When you first meet Mario, he at first tries to order a girly drink, but then quickly switches to a more manly one. When pressed about this by Jill, Mario confesses that he does enjoy girly drinks but orders manly ones out of fear of being made fun of. Mario is also gay, but again is too afraid to reveal his orientation for fear of destroying his frightening biker image. Mario is someone who is bound by stereotypes, whether they be gender stereotypes or subculture stereotypes. In order to achieve freedom, and thus be true to himself, Mario must realize that stereotypes aren't necessarily truthful, and then break free of said stereotypes. Mario eventually does break free of these stereotypes, and finally gains his freedom. So, that was my quick little thematic analysis of Valhalla. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed Valhalla, although that is a pretty high standard. Again, if you haven't played Valhalla, please give it a try. I promise you, it is an extremely engaging and emotional experience. This is CJ Mack, signing off. Have a nice tragedy.